Okay, November 15th. It is 1:45 my time on Monday. So in the previous updates, I had gotten some of my orders filled up above. I ended up canceling my ETC order in order to give myself a little bit more wiggle room on my other two positions because they had basically went right past my entry. And so far, so far so good. So far it looked like a failed breakout. I mentioned in the previous video as well that if we were unable to turn this into support, we were gonna, that could be a bad signal for being able to at least hold this area here. So, so basically, what I ended up doing is I actually ended up, well, I held my BTC and my, BCH position. I actually ended up closing them out about right in here, right as we kind of got down into the bottom of the range here, right around here. In fact, let's look. So I ended up covering BTC at 63,800. So right around here. So right, on the bottom of the range here. So what I'd like to see now, and the reason why I did that is because things kind of changed a little bit. We broke through, we started building, we're trying to establish an area of value, establish a value area up here, and then it's failed. And now what we've done is we've returned to the previous day's value area lows down in here. And so I don't like to be long when we're, sitting here at the bottom of, a range, the bottom of some consolidation. I'd rather just take profit there and try to just reshort on a bounce and see if I can, get out at the bottom of a range and reshort it, up somewhere up in here at the upper range. So I just took what it gave me, and I had to sit through some heat. I talked about how I managed that risk in the previous video by canceling one of my 3 orders and then kind of adjusting my stops with that additional wiggle room I gave myself. But so I ended up making a little bit, not a lot. I ended up making, 1.34 basically BSV on that one, and then pretty much nothing on the BCH. So about 1.4 BSV is what I ended up taking out of that, which I'm happy with because it really did come close to stopping me out. And had I not adjusted, any of my stops, I probably would have been stopped out of everything. But from the get-go, I decided I would never exceed 3 BSV risk, and luckily it never went above that. And I was able to catch a failed breakout. So I took a little bit of a profit, again 1.4. I think if one was going to look to short again, we'd probably look for exactly what I talked about last time. And maybe this time 64.9 actually holds instead of 64.9 getting blown through. So I think a retest again of the upper range. We're going sideways. We can see how many times this 64.9, 65 area has just been kind of the ceiling. Will it be a ceiling again? Maybe. I do think it would be. It's worth the risk if we do come up here to grab a little bit and to see if we can finally get it to roll over. Because I think when this thing does break, if and when it does break this sideways range, it'll go pretty good. It'll come up here, and then as we push down lower, I think we can see ourselves down, below 62 for sure, low 60s. So, but we'll see. But you don't want to short down here, and that's actually why I got out of my shorts. Is if it's sitting where you wouldn't normally want to be short, then just get out and try to re-enter on a little bounce. So anyway, so I might put some open orders in right back where I was before, about 64,850, something like that, 64.9. See if I can get it on the short side bounce again. And risk would be the same as always. My 3 BSV max on the positions. So yeah, I'll probably do, once I kind of look at the charts a little bit more, I'll probably put an order here on BTC for a short. I'll look at a few other charts and see where I might place some orders. In fact, maybe I'll just pause the video and do that real quick, and then I won't have to do separate videos. So, pause. Okay, so I ended up placing 2 orders so far. Not sure about a third just yet, but looking at selling XRP around $119.50, $1.19 and $119.5, and then BTC at $64.850 right now. So basically playing for this scenario similar to the same scenario I was looking at yesterday. So we'll see if that ends up playing out on BTC. It'll kind of be a similar scenario on XRP if something like that was to happen. You know, looking for just the bounce rollover play here. So that's what we'd be looking for, at least on those 2 orders. That'll give me, you know, I'll start out with a 1 BSV stop on those, just kind of as a default. I'll have that 1 BSV extra for a little bit more wiggle room, but I would like to add to it if we come up and we do roll over and it's starting to look like we're going to take the bottom out. I might add to it because I think we'll finally push down. But yeah, that's where we're at. Again, it's Monday. It's now 1:55 my time. So yeah, I'll end the video here. We'll see how it plays out. Again, new orders entered, and see where it goes.